This is how society collapses. This is how society collapses. So if you haven't heard already, some guy just made another attempt on Trump. This is the second attempt, and Trump survived. Watching this video to fully understand the implications of the situation and why I truly believe that this is not, probably won't be the last time. Guys, today's video is going to be brought to us by Asmon Gold. His channel will be linked in the description. You can go and check him out, and we also have some other content as well. Now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
I want to go to reporting from our Josh Campbell, who has been talking to his sources at the FBI and is learning that as we speak, Anderson, the investigation is now going global. What authorities are trying to do is try to understand a little bit more about this man who ended up on that near that golf course, 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Routh. According to Josh's sources, authorities are working to obtain search warrants on various social media accounts believed to be associated with him. Some of these images that you're looking at to your screen here, these are images that our investigative unit has been able to cull from his various social media accounts that are available online. The suspected online activity is also involving some of these platforms that are located outside of the United States. And what the FBI is also aware of are some of his online claims about foreign travel. And I want to zero in on something here, Anderson. The pictures that you're seeing come from a GoFundMe account. And on that account, Routh claims that he went to Kyiv in 2022. He was raising money to try to support his travel that appears to be completely done on his own. On that GoFundMe website site, he is encouraging others to join him. It is unofficial. He claims that he is staying with people aligned with the military, that he's donating military devices to some of the fighters in Ukraine. And our team is also gathering a little more of a background about where he comes from in the United States. We believe, according to public records searches, that he was splitting time between Hawaii and North Carolina, that in Hawaii, he was a self-employed affordable housing builder. He started in 2018 a company called Camp Box Honolulu, building some of those storage units and tiny houses, and that he had donated a structure to some homeless people. In North Carolina, though, we are getting through some of the federal campaign finance records, a donation of $100, more than $100 to Act Blue, which processes donations to Democratic campaigns. He had registered as an unaffiliated voter, that is without a party affiliation in 2012, but he had voted in the March 2024 Democratic primary. And it also shows, according to North Carolina public records, that he had a number of brushes with the law. In 2002, he had a weapon. He had been pulled over by police, and that he barricaded himself in a building. That is something that police did recently confirm after his arrest on Sunday, and that he had a number of according to public records, Anderson, that he had issues with the courts and failing to pay taxes. Anderson.
Kyung-ah, thanks very much. More now on the breaking news. Tomorrow, the acting Secret Service director heads to Florida. Ronald Rowe got to the top job after the director resigned in July in a hail of criticism, you may remember, after the first assassination attempt on Trump in Pennsylvania. Back now with our panel, Julia Kayyem, Daniel Bruner, and Jonathan Wackrow. Daniel, it's interesting to see those pictures of this guy. I guess those were taken early on in Ukraine. As somebody who was in Ukraine for a couple of weeks at the start of the war in Lviv, you would see a whole bunch of folks coming there from the U.S. Some of them, had legit military training in the U.S. and were there believing in the cause and wanting to help and volunteer where they could or train others. And then you'd also see just some folks who kind of washed ashore there with, running from something or just seeing this as some kind of opportunity to jumpstart their life. And so I'm curious to learn more about what this person was actually doing. Was he one of those people who just kind of got attracted to that and went? Did he actually have, was he actually, contributing in some way? There's certainly still a lot we don't know about this.
His golf course, tonight a crime scene. The former president whisked home under guard to his nearby Mar-a-Lago estate as the man intent on taking his life Ryan Wesley Routh stares down an FBI interrogation.
This is about good versus evil.
Online posts paint a picture of a man in his 50s and highly critical of Donald Trump, a list of prior run-ins with the law. Lately, he was committed to enlisting foreign fighters in Ukraine.
I mean, guys, this is a very sad and unfortunate situation, but you have to understand that this is something that we could have foreseen for coming a mile away. You have to remember that you have these people out here saying absolutely terrible things. I mean, you have people on the left saying that Trump is a threat to democracy. And when you use that kind of language, how do you think that people are going to respond? Right now, he has been characterized essentially as the devil, as the guy with the funny, as bad or worse than the guy with the funny mustache, if you know who I'm referring to. And they have not stopped. After the first attempt, what did they do? They just doubled down and they kept on going. They absolutely did not let up. And this is where it has ultimately led to. And I guarantee you, this is going to change absolutely nothing whatsoever. Biden will come out and he'll make a statement maybe, and Kamala will, they'll basically play it off and say that, they don't approve of what's happened, and they believe in a fear and a system. And again, they really don't. They really absolutely don't. This is their doing. It's 100% their doing. And this is the psychotic society that we live in. I mean, think about this very carefully. Men are basically being surveilled for playing video games. Men are being tracked for the types of videos that they watch on YouTube. And the people who are planting, and you literally have, law enforcement planting videos on YouTube and then demanding that the courts hand over, basically reveal whoever watches these videos. This is all about keeping men under control, because men are the only ones who can stand up to tyranny. And it's so sad. It's absolutely terrible what is happening, but it's no surprise. This is the reality that we now live in. And it's because of the people who have basically and ultimately decided that they want this system in place. They want this to keep on happening. And everyone knows it's total BS. Everyone knows it's total BS, but you have people who have basically been infected with this way of thinking, and then you have others who they know exactly what they're doing, but they just want they want an easy life. They want money, and they'll do anything to do it. They want socialism, and they don't care who is affected. They don't care who's affected. All they care about is getting their money. That's really it. That's really absolutely it. About getting their money one way or another. And they basically they see Trump as messing up the system. Okay? Because I'll tell you right now, it's 100% a system. What we have here is 100% a system that is in place. Okay? And they don't want someone like Trump going in and disrupting the system. They don't want Trump, they don't want Trump putting it, bringing their fun to an absolute end. Because that's really what it is. That's really what it is. Because he disrupts the system. Because he tells it like it is. He basically says, this is the way it is, and you're going to have, and he's not going to sugarcoat it. And of course, these people, they want it their way. Things have been done there, like this for a long time, and things have been going in this direction for a long time. And now they'll go to any length, because this is the progression. It's been a long time. It's been a long-term progression towards from socialism to communism to Marxism, and it's never going to end. And I guarantee you, many of us have family members who have this just mental state. They have this absolutely insane mental state, and they don't care about anything else other than getting their money. They don't care about anything else other than getting their money, and they'll do anything to get it. Guys, this is a culture that absolutely started with the boomers, and the boomers are like, do not mention us, do not speak about us. It's always the people who demand that no one speaks about them that are very much often the ones who are contributing to the problem. And of course, I'm not blaming all the boomers for this, but I will say that this is a system, this is a culture that they put in place. Is a culture that they started. And they have a lot. They'll never take responsibility for anything. They're the "don't blame me" boomers. Don't blame me. Don't talk to me. You know, and then you wonder why Gen Z acts the way that they act. You wonder why Gen Z is such a toxic group of people. And when I say they're toxic, I mean they're absolutely toxic. You know, they're absolutely toxic. They are vitriolic, and it's sad to put it that way. It's really, really sad to put it that way, but it's true. It's true. This is just the reality of it. It's the absolute and utter reality of it. And women helped to pioneer. Women helped to pioneer the system. Sims helped to pioneer the system. There's a lot of people that are responsible for where we've ended up right now. I'm telling you, there's so many people that have had a role in this, that have led us down this path, that have brought us to this moment, a moment like this. And I can tell you, a lot of people probably feel hopeless right now seeing this happening and saying to themselves, what am I going to do? You know, this is, we're all out here trying, we're all trying to survive, we're all trying to live, and this type of thing is still happening. You know, guys, people are fighting. There are people out there right now that are 100% fighting for tyranny, fighting and pushing hard for tyranny. It's terrible.
Goal was to come and fight.
And the FBI says fighting was his goal today.
The U.S. Secret Service personnel opened fire on a gunman located near the property line.
That line, the Trump International Golf Course. The Republican nominee was between holes 5 and 6 when the advanced Secret Service details spotted the threat some 300 metres from the former president and opened fire.
He was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual.
Trump was bundled into a golf cart and carried away to the clubhouse where he was locked down. The gunman's high-powered weapons seen here with backpacks and a camera.
I think one has like a rifle.
As he made a run for it.
Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over.
Confirming his safety, Donald Trump pictured smiling, a thumbs up with Speaker Mike Johnson before declaring, nothing will slow me down, I will never surrender. He's now survived 2 attempts on his life in just 2 months.
What is clear is that President Trump is safe. That is a good thing.
I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me.
Vice President Harris wishing her rival well, reiterating violence has no place in America.
It's the same old playbook, guys. Same old playbook from the people that have been pushing terrible rhetoric that has led to this occurring. Okay, all of these people play a massive role in this.
There's a lot that's going to be looked at. The digital evidence that this individual left behind is clearly tremendous. We're going to be looking at all the CCTV, all his social media, and they're going to be looking back a number of years because obviously he's had an extensive social media presence going back to before the war in Ukraine. So they're going to be looking all the way back before that. They're going to look at what his motivations were for going to Ukraine, and then was he affected in Ukraine? Did that motivation come to the United States? And then as a processing and during the course of the investigation, that'll all be analyzed, that'll all be looked at, and to look for other mitigating factors that could have sent this individual down that road to prepare for this attack, and understanding what the motivation was going on as far back as pre-war Ukraine.
And Julia, the fact that he had, allegedly had a GoPro that he was going to be using to document either if he was pulling the trigger or showing downrange what happened when he pulled the trigger. That indicates certainly a desire to broadcast, whether in real time or later, what was going to be done.
Right, that's exactly right. We've seen it in mass shooting cases. We've seen them in terrorism cases. The performative nature of the violence, and so it's not enough just to kill or assassinate a former president. It is you've got to document it, and we don't know if he wanted to live stream it. We don't know what he was intending to do with it, but we can, I think, rationally deduce that part of it was the amplification of the violence itself. He lived very online. He was very vocal. We see all of these pictures. And so that is something that suggests to me that this was well planned out over time. And we just don't know what sort of triggered it in the last couple of weeks or months.
And Jonathan, if this was a last minute, schedule, put it on the schedule, go play golf, that also raises questions about, how he knew about it.
No, it actually does raise questions again. But when we start looking at this individual, it is not normal for someone to wake up and decide I'm going to go shoot the former president, right? The investigators right now are looking at the pathway to violence, his grievances, his violent ideations, his pre-attack planning. All of this will come out through the investigation, to include how did he know that the president was going to be there on that day.
Guys, it's just been a continuous pattern. It's been a continuous pattern. It's very sad that this is happening, but no one should be surprised. Okay? Again, these are CNN. These are the same people that called him a threat to democracy. Joe Biden, same person, threat to democracy. They've been saying this over and over. They've been blasting it from the airwaves. If Trump wins, it's all over. If Trump wins, everything is going to come to an end. If Trump wins, it's the worst thing. It's the worst possible thing. All right? This is not a fair election. This is literally using terrible rhetoric that is being used, to push people over the edge and into this type of behavior. It's beyond vitriolic. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting, but we shouldn't be surprised. We absolutely should not be surprised.
The suspect in the latest assassination attempt on former President Trump is identified as 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Ruth. Good evening, I'm Blake Hansen. He was taken into custody alive and without incident after driving off from Trump's West Palm Beach golf course. The sheriff's office there released pictures of evidence collected at the scene: an AK-47 rifle, 2 backpacks, and a GoPro apparently set up to record the attack. Ruth, according to public records, has a long criminal record, including a standoff with police in North Carolina in 2002. His most recent residence appears to have been Hawaii, with a record of construction work. Investigators say they found ceramic tile in those backpacks left on the fence, which can be used in protective shielding, possibly if he was expecting a shootout. But there's still a lot we do not know, including the motive, how the suspect knew Trump was on the golf course at the time, and how he got that close. Fox's Connor Hansen picks up our coverage of the investigation.
The FBI investigating a second assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump, this time at his golf course in Florida. Secret Service reported shots fired at 1:30 p.m. Sunday outside Trump International Golf Club where Trump was playing. A Secret Service advance team spotted the gunman before they opened fire.
What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off.
The suspect tried to flee in a black Nissan. A witness reported the license plate to police.
We were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. And they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy.
Along the fence line where the suspect was hiding, Secret Service found an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks, and a GoPro. The shooter's position within striking distance of the former president.
Probably between 300 and 500 yards, but with a rifle and a scope like that, that's not a long distance.
Trump was not hurt. President Biden and Vice President Harris were both briefed and issued statements saying they're thankful for Trump's safety. J.D. Vance also posted on X that he spoke to Trump, who was, quote, in good spirits. It's not clear when the alleged assassin started trailing the former president. Sunday's round of golf was not on his public schedule. The FBI and Secret Service are handling the investigation. Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Shortly after the incident, Trump posted on his social media platform, Truth Social, "There were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I wanted you to hear this first. I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender." Trump's motorcade left the golf course late this afternoon and returned to his nearby estate at Mar-a-Lago. Vice President Kamala Harris reacted to the news of the shooting as well. In a statement to X, Harris said, "I have been briefed on reports of gunshots fired near former President Trump and his property in Florida, and I am glad he is safe. Violence has no place in America." President Biden echoed those remarks this evening and directed the Secret Service to provide every resource to protect Trump. I want to listen in now to the sheriff of Palm Beach County, Florida, explain how a private citizen helped law enforcement track down the suspect quickly.
1:30 this afternoon, call came out, shots fired. That was called in by the Secret Service. Because we're in constant contact with them all the time, we were notified of that, and we had units here that immediately sealed off the area. Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, "Hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag," which was great. So we had that information. Our real-time crime center put it out to the license plate readers, and we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy. After that, we took the witness that witnessed the incident, flew him up there, and he identified as the person that he saw running out of the bushes and jumped into the car.
The sheriff of Martin County, Florida, where the suspect was arrested, said Ruth never questioned the reason he was being pulled over, and he was taken into custody without incident. It's not clear just yet if he fired any shots when the Secret Service engaged him at the golf course. This incident will certainly raise more questions about security surrounding the former president. The first assassination attempt on Trump happened in July while he was speaking at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. There are ongoing congressional hearings about the security failures. Experts have begun to weigh in, and while they have applauded the Secret Service response once they noticed the gunman, they are wondering how the gunman got so close to the former president in the first place.
I know the layout of that place like the back of my hand. To not have dogs on that site, to not have manpower on the other side of the fence, to not have streets shut down. Why did no one check the brush line and make sure nobody was in the bushes? That is the most basic things. This isn't something you see in a movie. This isn't something that requires, years of planning and a sniper training. The guy was laying in the bushes with an AK-47.
I mean, guys, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. How was he able to get so close? How was he able to get so close? These are very good questions. This makes literally no sense, guys. How was he able to get so close? Guys, is the Secret Service just as incompetent? Why are there so many holes? This makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, guys. It's kind of like they're deliberately leaving gaps in this entire thing. It's like they're deliberately trying not to do their very best in this situation, if you understand what I am saying. It's all just very, very suspicious from my point of view. Very suspicious. I don't know.
Secret Service, from the State Attorney's Office, we are going to give you everything we have.
Okay.
Everything. All right? So when we get done, think about your questions, because we're not going to take a lot. And keep them to the information that you heard. Don't get into what ifs, and because of this.
Okay. Let's hear it.
We're not going to go there. All right?
All right.
So keep that in mind, and we'll be good. So here we go. All right, 1:30 this afternoon. Call came out, shots fired. That was called in by the Secret Service. Because we're in constant contact with them all the time, we were notified of that, and we had units here that immediately sealed off the area. Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag.
Great.
Which was great.
Yeah.
So we had that information. Our real-time crime center put it out to the license plate readers. And we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over.
Okay.
And detained the guy.
They got his
After that,
ass.
we took the victim, the witness that witnessed the incident, flew him up there, and he identified as the person that he saw running out of the bushes and jumped into the car.
Okay. So they
Now,
said that's the
in the
guy.
bushes where this guy was is an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had a ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro,
Ceramic
which he was
tile?
going to take pictures of. So those are being processed
We got
right
to turn
now.
on the kick stream.
The Secret Service agent that was on the course did a fantastic job. What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual.
Damn.
At which time the individual took off.
And guys, I just want to point out to you that in this time that is uncertain, you really need to be prepared for the worst that can happen. And guys, that's one of the reasons why you should look into our brand new course, Learn How to Survive and Thrive Without Using Government Aid and Community Resources. It's actually titled How to Survive and Thrive Using Community Resources. And this is going to be a 12 lesson crash course on using government and community resources to secure money, food, housing, healthcare, and more to reduce cost and thrive. I talked about this course for a long time. I have years of survival skills. And guys, these are things that you need to learn how to do. You need to learn how to utilize this system so that you can basically survive, reduce guys, once you learn how to do this, you will never be hungry. You will never go hungry. All right. You will always have money in your pocket one way or another. I'm just making that very clear. Doesn't matter if you're poor. Doesn't matter if you're a millionaire. It doesn't matter if you're right now, in between jobs and struggling. This course is going to help you with that. All right. This course is going to be the course. Guys, don't leave money on the table. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. Don't leave money on the table, especially what's happening. Because right now we are looking at a massive breakdown of our society. Absolute breakdown of society. Okay. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So definitely go pick up the course. It's linked in the description of the video. It is going to help you in so many ways. You guys have been asking for this for a long time. Here it is. Here it is, guys. All right. Because we are living in some really unbelievable times right now. We are living in, this is basically a bordering on the fall of the Roman Empire and the fall of Babylon. Okay. Choose whichever one you like. Choose your favorite of the bunch. Because this is no joke. Also, guys, go and subscribe to the Angry Guy Clubhouse. This is our space. I drop articles every day, brand new articles every day. I drop new videos here every day. I drop new videos regularly, and I drop podcasts. So we have podcasts, we have videos, and then we also have guides over here. And you can learn so much. We have latest article is The Fall of the Roman Empire, a tale of lost knowledge and a tale of lost knowledge and dark ages. All right. Our most popular read so far is actually The Dark Ages Were Orchestrated. We have guides such as The Blueprint for Escaping the Rat Race. These are things that you want. These are things that you 100% want. You do not want to mess around. These are things you absolutely want. What Gen X learned about surviving hardship that younger generations didn't. This one, when men learn to be alone, women find themselves alone. Or guys, choosing a girlfriend is like hiring an employee. We also have some Gen X articles. We have a lot of amazing things. Modern women are pissed. The real reason men are walking away from dating. Also women love arguments and men should avoid them at all costs. Yeah, guys, we have a lot of great stuff here for you. You need to jump in. You need to start learning. We have a chat, so you can jump into the chat, talk with me. But yeah, guys, definitely. This situation, this is how society absolutely collapses. And again, guys, that is one of the reasons why you do want to pick up the Learn How to Survive and Thrive course, because that is insane. Because we are heading for a massive collapse. And again, all courses are linked in the description. Everything is linked in the description. We are heading for a massive collapse that the world has never seen before. We're heading for a collapse that is going to leave everyone in absolute shock and awe, because it's going to be that bad. All right? It's really, really going to be that bad. And a lot of people who are like, oh, I didn't see it coming. Guys, it's the wicked amongst us that are now driving us towards this dystopia, that are driving us towards the hell on earth that is becoming an increasing possibility with every passing day.
Yes. That's what we know about the investigation. We have somebody in custody right now that is a potential suspect. We got a little bit more work to do on it, but as we usually do, as soon as we decide that we're going to book him into the county jail and the charges that he's going to be booked into, we'll get those to you and we'll get a picture of him and we'll get you his background. Ooh. So now I'm going to turn it over to the representative of the Secret Service, and he's going to make a brief statement.
You know what's amazing though? You got to give Florida their credit, y'all. They caught this guy in no time whatsoever. Secret Service is out here trying to act like they're bosses and like they did a better job. Maybe they did a bit better, but guys, Florida doesn't really fuck around now, do they? Holy shit. Florida does not fuck around. I mean, they caught this guy alive too, within like no time whatsoever. Like they've got some G's in Florida. Like these are straight up gangsters in Florida. Holy fuck. Like talk about no incompetence. This was like what, 20 minutes? 10-20 minutes they had there, man. Shit.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I first want to thank all of our law enforcement partners, to include the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office and the Martin County Sheriff's Office, for their involvement today. Former President Donald Trump is safe and unharmed following a protective incident shortly before 2 p.m. on Sunday at Trump International Golf Club at West Palm Beach. The U.S. Secret Service personnel opened fire on a gunman located near the property line, and this matter is under investigation. I'll turn it over to my partners over at the FBI.
Okay, here we go. These are the ones that said it was an assassination, right?
It's just kind of interesting. Did you notice how quickly the Secret Service jumped away from it? Guys, the Secret Service, I still feel like they're so incompetent. It's a really incompetent organization. And honestly, I think that they deliberately were just not doing their job correctly.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Veltri. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Miami field office. The FBI has assumed the role as the lead federal law enforcement agency in the investigation of the incident that occurred earlier today at Trump International Golf Course here in West Palm Beach, Florida. We've deployed a number of resources, including the investigative teams, crisis response team members, bomb technicians, and evidence response team members as well. What we need right now is for the public to avoid the area around the golf course. We will continue to support this investigation with the full resources of the FBI, alongside our partners with the United States Secret Service and the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, as well as Martin County Sheriff's Office and state and local law enforcement. I would ask that if anyone has any information that may assist with this investigation, to contact our tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI or at tips, that's TIPS,
in case you can't spell,
FBI.gov.
Wait, how do you spell
Thank
FBI?
You.
David?
Hi, I'm Dave Ehrenberg, State Attorney for Palm Beach County. I want to thank Sheriff Bradshaw and our partners at the local, state, and federal levels. I'm here because our prosecutors are currently working up warrants and a motion for pretrial detention for the suspect. In that way, he will be kept in custody. But our filing of these warrants and charges at the state level does not preclude federal charges that could be coming. But in the meantime, it looks like the warrants and the pretrial detention motion will happen first. And again, I want to thank the cooperation we've had with our federal partners and at the local level. And thank you all for being here today.
Well, here
okay,
we go.
We're going to make these pictures available to you. It'll show you a picture of the backpack and the rifle.
All right, let's get it.
There's also a GoPro on the fence there where he was intent on filming what was going on. Even though we're going to have to secure a couple of areas around the golf course here, the public doesn't need to panic. We know that we got a post office, a library, and a school down the street. So we'll make it convenient for you to get to all the places you need to go, get your kids to school.
This guy's bringing the fuck out. Look at that ring.
Else you need to go. It's safe. There's no more danger here, and we'll make it very convenient for you. So having said that, we're going to take a very limited amount of questions, and you can direct them to who you want to answer the question.
Sure. You know what's very interesting? It's amazing how the sheriff really commands everything. I gotta admit, and we noticed it too. The Secret Service looks weak as fuck, bro. Like even the FBI commands way more respect than the Secret Service. Like, am I the only one? Like, guys, like just tell me in the comments if you agree that the Secret Service looks just weak as fuck. Like these guys look incompetent. They're supposed to be like the best of the best. Like you would just imagine like these just giant black Hispanic white guys that just look intimidating as fuck, right? Working for the Secret Service, like, they look like something out of the Bible, like giants out of the Bible, in modern day era. Like when Shaq runs into them, he kind of like thinks twice. Like those motherfuckers. Instead, you have like what? You have like this really pudgy man that looks like he couldn't run a mile without getting out of breath. Like at 1 mile in, he'd be like, oh my god. Let me just grab my breath. Just let me grab my breath. Let me grab my breath. I know. I need to move. I know. Let me grab my breath. My doctor says that. Doctor says I got to do better. Doctor says I got to watch my heart. Just give me a second. I'll deal with it in a moment. Oh my god. Like this, like these are the people? These are the people that are guarding the president? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, are these affirmative action hires? I'm just saying. I'm just asking questions. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just asking questions. I just want to know, like, did affirmative action play a role in these hires? We can ask questions. We can ask questions because this is kind of getting out of hand at this point. And when you look at the people who are supposed to stand up and do these jobs, it's like, are you telling me this was the best you could do?
This afternoon, call came out, shots fired. That was called in by the Secret Service.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, says it is investigating what appears to be a second assassination attempt on US Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. The former president was safe after the incident at his golf course in Florida, and a suspect is in custody.
In the bushes where this guy was is an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of.
The gunman was about 1 or 2 holes away, approximately 400 meters from where Trump was playing. The man who authorities say pointed the rifle into former President Donald Trump's golf club and was arrested is Ryan Wesley Rath. 3 law enforcement officials told the Associated Press. Police have said that was not a long distance for an AK-47 style rifle, fitted with a scope. After shots were fired, the suspect ran from the bushes and got into a black Nissan. He has been taken into custody and was relatively calm when detained. CNN Chief Law Enforcement and Intelligence Analyst John Miller reported Routh has been living in Hawaii and was formerly a construction worker in North Carolina. The suspect has also reportedly been previously arrested 8 times, mostly for minor offences. Dave Ehrenberg, the state attorney working for Palm Beach County, told American news outlet MSNBC that the charges against the suspect would be filed on a federal level. This means the case will be taken over by the Department of Justice. Mr. Ehrenberg said the man will likely not be charged with attempted assassination because this would have required him firing a shot. The son of suspected gunman Ryan Roth, Orrin Roth, has told US broadcaster CNN that he does not know what has happened to his father. Ryan is my father, and I don't have any comment beyond a character profile of him as a loving and caring father, and honest, hard-working man, Orrin Roth told CNN.
I mean, guys, again, this is a load of absolute total BS, all right? And, you know, it's interesting that this guy is not going to be charged with attempted you-know-what when it was obviously attempted. Can you imagine? So you actually have to pull the you-know-what to be charged with attempted? That's total BS. Absolutely total bullshit.
Make any statements as he was being detained?
No statement right now as far as his involvement in the incident, and there's further investigation to be completed.
What was his demeanor like?
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe the Secret Service gentleman answered. I misunderstood, or I couldn't quite understand. So there was a rifle. So one of your agents saw on the golf course saw a rifle pointing to a fence. Was it the chain link? Okay.
You're showing the
So
photo.
you saw that, the agent.
That is correct, yes.
And the president or former president was on the course behind him. How close?
It was 1 or 2 holes behind.
100%.
That because the bubble moves through the golf course, so our agents will get there first, clear it. He noticed that the rifle was pointed out. Our agents engaged.
So the guy was camping.
We are not sure right now if
He was
the
waiting.
individual was able to take a shot at our agents, but for sure our agents were able to engage with the subject.
Yep.
I
There it is.
Doesn't appear so.
Campers get wrecked? I know.
How far away was the president?
Ooh, good question.
When this gentleman was caught and stopped?
Probably between 300 and 500 yards, but with a rifle and a scope like that, that's not a long distance.
Yeah, they could have got his ass.
The Secret Service.
Damn.
How far was your agent from the would-be assailant?
That I'm not sure right now. We're still looking into it.
Reports of the 4 rounds of ammunition were fired. Were all 4 of those from your agent?
That is correct. 4 to 6. We're not sure yet.
Was there a long distance? Explain why.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I was wondering how this was able to happen, and
I mean, how this was able to happen.
I didn't hear all that. Good. Say that one more time and talk up a little bit.
So how was this able to happen, and for future reference, is there any security of the golf course?
Well, you got to understand the golf course is surrounded by shrubbery. So when somebody gets into the shrubbery, they're pretty much out of sight. All right. And at this level that he is at right now, he's not the sitting president. If he was, we would have had this entire golf course around it. But because he's not, the security is limited to the areas that the Secret Service deems possible.
I think that's kind of problematic. Like, knowing what's happened, if he was the sitting president, we would have it in the entire area surrounded. That's total BS. Obviously, until at least after the election, you know, or even after the election, at least until after the election, depending on how the election goes at that, he should be given the same treatment as the president would be doing, because it's clear that he is in more danger actively than the acting president. And I think we can all attest to that 100%.
Also hearing from political experts about what this could mean for the upcoming election.
CBS 17 Sonica Bargo joins us in studio. And Sonica, we're also getting reaction from people who say they knew the suspect here in North Carolina.
Maggie, Greg, everyone I heard from says this came as a shock. But whether this will sway the election at all, one political science professor says that's less than clear.
Wow, again? Those were my first thoughts.
NC State political science professor reacting to what the FBI is calling an apparent assassination attempt of former President Trump.
You know, looks like the Secret Service did their job this time. that there was a dangerous person with a gun who had gotten too close to the president.
Green says while this is shocking news, threats to major political figures do happen, sometimes without us knowing. But this one comes just months after another assassination attempt.
It's because of the context where we're paying extra close attention to this because of what happened to Donald Trump earlier this summer when obviously that bullet came just inches away.
Still, Green says it's unclear this will have a major impact on the election.
And unless there's another event like this, I suspect we will have largely forgotten about it a month from now.
Officials have identified the suspect as Ryan Routh. Routh's former neighbor spoke to reporters at CBS 17's sister station in Greensboro. She did not want to identify herself or be on camera. She says she and Routh didn't get along very well, but the news came as a shock.
If I didn't see it with my own eyes, the picture and stuff and all, I wouldn't even believe that.
Routh's neighbor says the last time she saw the suspect was in May, after he sold the house.
Yeah, he actually hugged me and told me goodbye and all, and take care of myself and all. I thought he was just living the life, in Hawaii with the girlfriend and all. And so, for him to be, like I said, assassinating the president, that's just crazy.
Green also told me he expects the Trump campaign to portray this as politically motivated, but he says that's hard to do unless the suspect has a long history of political views opposing the former president.
That's absolutely, guys. Do you hear the BS? Oh, they expect Trump to make this political. Like, obvious. So wait a minute, guys. Do you notice? Trump is. They said they expect Trump to portray this as politically motivated. What else would it be? Like, I'm just absolutely, guys. Do you hear what this reporter literally said? Okay, they're already trying to shut down that this was politically motivated. So why are they trying to do this? Oh, because he's just a very bad person. Why do people think he's a bad person? Because of things that he said. So this has nothing to do with him running for president. Absolutely not. Then why do they do this? Because he's a bad person. He's to blame for this. He needs to step up and take accountability for what he's done. Like, this is the rhetoric that they're putting out there right now. This is 100% the insanity. And I'll say it again, absolute insanity that these people are spouting. Okay? Kamala Harris, Biden, none of these people give a real damn about what's happened. Okay? They really don't care. These people are very much responsible for the situation that we're looking at. They 100% are. I will say this. I've said it once, and I will say this again. It is disgusting what's happened here, and these people are very much to blame for it.
So I would imagine that the next time he comes to the golf course, there'll probably be a little bit more people around the perimeter.
That makes sense.
But
yeah.
The Secret Service did exactly what they should have done. They provided exactly what the protection should have been, and their agent did a fantastic job.
Yeah, they popped his ass. They got his ass. It's true.
The layout of the golf course, you've got 3 holes, 5, 6, and 7.
Mm-hmm.
All right? One of them runs parallel to Summit Boulevard. One of them runs parallel to Congress.
Not the sitting president, so we should allow him to be assassinated. That's what he said.
He could see both holes.
Yeah.
So the president was another hole back, which means he's about between 400 and 500 yards away.
So he was on the golf course?
Oh, he's on the golf course, yeah, but he's back a ways.
For the Secret Service, have you guys changed at all the way that you guys are protecting former President Donald Trump? There's now a second potential.
Fucking obviously they have. That's why they got him.
Elaborate on how things have changed and what you make of all this.
More insight tonight from a local former FBI agent about this apparent assassination attempt today. Nick Veland joins me in the studio tonight. Nick, what did he share with you?
Yeah, well, you can see the aftermath of the scene behind me. FBI has jurisdiction in assassination attempts, and a former agent says even if that's the case, it takes everyone, including local law enforcement, Secret Service, and more to help investigate moving forward. Former FBI agent Harry Trombitis says on protection details, you have to expect the unexpected.
You have to assume, and that there are individuals out there that may try to take someone's life. So you've got to expand your area of control the best that you can and try to cover all the areas where a shot could come from.
When the suspect left the scene, license plate readers led law enforcement to the suspect's car.
In this case, it really helped out and proved to be important.
This newer technology, Trumbitis says, continues to help find those on the run.
This is a classic example of why we have them and why we need them.
The FBI looks now to determine if this person acted alone or not, this being the second assassination attempt in the last 2 months.
It's scary, and it could happen, it could be an attempt on Vice President Harris's life as well. I mean, we're equally concerned about trying to protect all of our candidates.
During election years, the differences in political views can lead to violence.
Let's be very, very clear, guys. They tried this with Reagan. They tried this with Trump. They've been trying multiple times. You know who else they tried this with? They tried this with Lincoln, and we know how that went. You guys see a pattern? I mean, obviously there was JFK in the mix, but aside from JFK, the last three that I could just recall were all Republicans. Okay? Putting JFK aside. Abraham Lincoln, after he freed the slaves, the Democrats were pissed and furious. Think about that carefully. The parties never changed. The Democrats were pissed and furious. And look at how they responded. Look at what they did. And then look at what happened to Reagan. Reagan was a great guy. People loved him. And look at what they tried with that. And now Trump, who's been saying the same thing about our society, about our country for decades, this is the second time in 2 months. Second time in 2 months. And I want you guys to realize something. They're getting desperate. They are getting more and more desperate. They control the media. They control everything. They're everywhere. And the fact of the matter remains that they are so desperate right now that they're going to this point. And you can notice the media is not even condemning it. They're just basically like, "Oh, we're reporting in a possible action." Do you guys remember when during the first attempt they were trying to act like they weren't sure what happened? They said that there was a loud popping sound. A loud popping sound. You've got to be shitting me. All right? The same FBI, I think it was the same FBI that actually said that they weren't sure if he was actually hit with, like, it was actually a bullet. It could have been shrapnel from somewhere. Even though the doctors that inspected him, that saw him after the incident, said that it was clear. It was a clear entrance and exit. And then the FBI said, "Oh no, it could have been shrapnel." They have the most up-to-date information, more than us. They would have seen the doctor's reports on the incident, okay, right after the event. And they turn around and try to say something like this. And then they wonder why people are beginning to lose faith in the system. They wonder why people are beginning to just give up. And maybe that's what they want. They want you to give up. They want you to be demoralized so that, basically they can do whatever they want. Because if you listen to the crap that is coming out of Kamala's mouth, it is absolutely insane. Like, she is saying some absolutely ridiculous things, and no one's checking her on it.
Okay to have disagreements between each other, but it can't lead to violence. That is absolutely not what we need in this country.
And he says these investigations take time and agents are compiling more evidence and information. On your side, Nick Veland for Fox 28 News.
Nick, thank you. We're getting reaction from Ohio leaders tonight on today's events. Senator Sherrod Brown released a statement a short time ago saying, in part, "I'm glad to hear that President Trump is safe and grateful to law enforcement for securing the area quickly." Bernie Moreno.
Well, let's get out there to this, Ken. Thanks so much. Let's listen in to what they have to say here as they're investigating this assassination attempt. Let's listen in.
We have everything. All right. So when we get done, think about your questions, because we're not going to take.
I mean, guys, it's stupid. This is a level of insane stupidity right now that we're witnessing.
Yes, the threat level
obviously.
is high. We have increased the amount of assets that we've supported, so we live in danger times. So yes.
We're done with questions right now. There's really nothing more for us to add.
Bitch.
I just want to tell you, the Secret Service and the FBI and the State Attorney's Office have been fantastic to work with. And I can tell you right now, our agency with this real-time crime center was fabulous. That's how we got the guy. We started out with,
great.
We don't know anything, to where we had a tag, we had a vehicle description, and we got an area where we saw the person. So be proud of your law enforcement. All right, thanks, folks. We'll get back to you.
There it is.
So that the Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw ending that news conference by saying they all should be proud of their law enforcement officers. He spoke initially describing events.
I mean, guys, it's I think that a lot of it's a disgrace. I think a lot of it's a straight up disgrace.
Down, I would imagine, still for a
I'm
while.
just use
What's the
other audio.
process out there, and what's your warning?
I might just use this audio.
Of course, God forbid, had there been a gunfight, we were ready to engage. Thankfully, because of good tactics, stopping the car, felony stop, getting him out of the vehicle, coming back to us, we were able to stabilize the scene.
They refused to mention the
any further
words
violence.
assassination
Give us a
attempt,
timeline.
just like
when
last
did you
time.
first identify that vehicle, and
True,
when were you able
brother.
to finally stop him?
It was just right after 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Kamala Harris got
Following
ratioed.
the BOLO, the be on the lookout that we received from south of us, that our road units picked the vehicle up. And then we waited a while. We didn't stop him right away. We didn't want a high-speed chase.
Ouch.
So we were able to wait until we had adequate units, surrounded the vehicle, and then forced it to a stop.
I know this is a fluid situation, but did the suspect put up any fight, or did he stop once he realized there was multiple vehicles there following him?
We did not give him an opportunity to put up a fight. So we had him contained, forced off the road, taken out at gunpoint, pulled back in what we call a felony stop, and he was safely taken into custody.
And as you said, you believe this may be the suspect and the vehicle involved in the incident down in Mar-a-Lago. I know it's still a very fluid situation here.
This is the vehicle, and this is the suspect, and he is in custody.
So is he in the custody right now at
So
the
they're
Martin
sure
County
they got
Jail,
his
or
ass.
is he taken somewhere else because of the involvement down in Mar-a-Lago?
He is currently in custody by the Martin County Sheriff's Office, my agency, but as soon as the FBI Secret Service are ready, we'll transfer his custody over to them.
This
Final
is on
question
loop.
for you here.
No, it's not.
Obviously, a fluid situation out there
He's
on
just saying the same
I-95.
thing.
It's going to be shut down, I would imagine, still for a while. What's
Yeah,
the
he's just saying
process
the same
out there,
thing
and
over and
what's
over.
your warning for drivers headed around this area?
Yeah, if you're northbound on 995 and you're approaching Palm City, we're right here in Palm City, Florida, get off and go to the turnpike. We had to clear the vehicle with an explosive vehicle on loan to us, an explosive dog from the St. Lucie County Sheriff.
Total bunch of incompetence, guys. We are heading for hell. We are heading for hell. Guys, go and get my course, Learn How to Survive and Thrive Using Government and Community Resources, because we are heading for one hell. We're heading for one hell of a vitriolic situation right now. You know, no matter who wins, we're screwed. And the truth is that Trump cannot stop what's happening. He can only basically buy us some time. You should be planning your exit strategies. So definitely go and pick up that course. It's linked in the description of the video. And guys, you know, just for more, you know, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, definitely go and check out our Angry Guys Clubhouse. You know, we have podcasts, like I said, extended videos, notes, chat. You know, look at like this video, The Fall of the Roman Empire, A Tale of Lost Knowledge and Art and Ages. You can check this out by clicking on the link in the description of the video, going over to the Clubhouse. Stuff like When Men Learn to Be Alone, Women Find Themselves Alone. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Women are driving men to isolation and celibacy. There's a lot of great stuff in there, guys. Go and check the stuff out. Go and check out the content, you know, and subscribe to the channel. Also, guys, you know, it's time to begin learning how to grind, how to build. We have stuff like how to build a thriving business empire in our guide section. Mark Cuban's Billionaire Blueprint from mac and cheese to millions, and unlock your path to passive income with our complete affiliate marketing guide for beginners. And we also have the blueprint for escaping the rat race. We've got a lot of great content over here for you guys. So go and check it out. Subscribe. Check that out, guys. Because we don't have a lot of time left, guys. You need to be out here grinding. You need to be out here making moves, guys, because every single one of you should be afraid. I'm telling you that you think that, oh, I don't give a damn, whatever happens, happens. Let me tell you something. You might feel that way right now. You might feel that way right now, but over time, you'll look back in it and you'll regret saying this. You'll regret having such a laissez-faire attitude. I'm just being so honest with you. You will regret having such a laissez-faire attitude, because when hard times really arrive, when hell on earth really arrives, and you guys are like, I don't care. It just doesn't all end right there. You guys are going to be crying, screaming, and hollering. Many of you are going to be like, "Oh, I wish I had listened to Uncle Angry and gotten my passport." Because guys, that's basically when the door slams shut. When the door to the ark closes, that's really it. That's absolutely it. I'm going to tell you guys something. At one point in my life, when everything was going downhill for me, I lost faith in humanity. I lost faith in humanity, and I'll tell you, it was that experience that resulted in why I go so hard. Okay, I look at Gen Z, and I'll tell you guys, there's nothing good inside of these kids. There's not a damn thing good inside of these kids. And every so often, I'll run into a Gen Zer who'll just straight up tell me there's nothing good inside of them. Like, shit is out here is getting crazy. It's getting worse. And when it comes to a lot of the Gen Zers, like, they're basically deer in headlights right now. 100% deer in headlights. And it's like no one expects them to fix the problems that are happening around us. But how about not making it worse? How about not doing what the boomers did? Because Gen Z is 100% the reincarnate. It didn't take long for people to start calling them the Zoomers. It happened very quickly. People started saying, wait a minute, Gen Z is exactly like the boomers. Okay? They are, the center of their lives is money. 100%. The center of the lives of these bad muffins is money. Just like the bad apples. The bad apple boomers, guys. The bad apple boomers. All right? I don't know. And like I said, it just keeps on going from bad to worst. You cannot, guys, you don't have time to screw around. You don't have time to mess around. You need to grind and keep on grinding. You need to learn how to create something for yourself, and you need to learn how to survive. All right? It's not a game. Listen to old Uncle Angry. All right? Because what we're seeing right here now with Trump, this is how society collapses 100%. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWM and walking away and chill.